Hey guys, what is up? I'm Rakamulia. I'm a digital marketer from Reach, and welcome to another episode in this YouTube space. Today, we're going to be talking about what is the best social media slash platform for your brand to grow at. And the answer to that is there is no best social media. Why is that so? Well, before we discover why, don't forget to click that subscribe button. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to like it as well. Without further ado, let's begin. So the reason why there is no all-time best social media is because social medias have different characteristics. I've talked about this before on my Instagram post, but I'll talk about it again here. So essentially, different social media have different audiences and then different ways for people to create content as well. So for example, Facebook has a mature audience, and the audience generally tend to want to be part of something, a community. Facebook's all about sharing stories via long captions and photos and videos, and thus are more intimate and community-based. Facebook's especially good for politicians, communities, and publishing media. And then there's Twitter. Twitter's audience are Gen Z and older, and it's all about microblogging. Twitter in general has a niche audience who talks about gossips and also likes to write stuff. Thus is more open and less intimate. Twitter is really good for brands who focuses a lot on customer relations and also politicians who like to write a lot of stuff. And then there's the big boy Instagram. Instagram's all with millennials and Gen Z, and even earlier than that. Instagram's all about visual and highly attractive content. And of course, now we have Reel. Audience in general favors quick and attractive content that doesn't really require them to pay attention much. Very, very engaging and quite intimate as well with the DMs. Instagram is really, really good for brands and individual figures who can create very, very appealing content. And last but not least is TikTok. TikTok is more appealing to Gen Z and younger, so very young audiences, even younger than me, not gonna lie. TikTok's content is based on short and creative content, and it's all about young audiences who wants to explore the funness of this world via short content. Thus it's more appealing, visual based and attractive, and also instant. TikTok's really good for brands and individuals with a lot of young audiences. So, as you can see, all of these social media platforms have really different characteristics, right? So the best combination of social media that you should use is the social media that your target audience most comfortably uses. But how do you find the ideal social media platform to use? Well, there are two steps actually. It's pretty easy. The first one is to create an audience persona and know your audience well. So an audience persona is kind of like a characteristic of your audience. I'll talk about that more in the future, but it's basically all about their likes, dislikes. Okay, of course you have the age and location, and then also online habits, spending habits, things like that. Make a kind of like a character out of your audience. And second of all is to create a consumer touchpoint journey or consumer journey. It's basically kind of like a roadmap of how you want your audience to interact with you in the funnel process. So in the beginning, of course, it's how you reach your audience. So how would your audience be exposed to your content or your brand? Would they be searching for it, or would you be searching for them? Now that's a two different thing. And then of course the middle of the funnel, which creates the trust in your audience for your brand. So how are you going to do it? Is there going to be a touch point? Like for example, are you going to interact with them, or are they going to just be reading your content? Again, it's all up to you, and I'll talk about this in the future, I promise guys, because this is really important and really interesting. So once you've got the audience persona and then also you have your desired consumer journey, voila! You can decide which social media that you want to use. I think for me personally, the importance of that consumer roadmap is insane because you'll realize that you need more than one social media platforms. But again, it doesn't mean that you have to be on every single platform because of course it's going to be expensive and it's going to be quite redundant as well if your target audience isn't there. For example, my brand targets a lot of kind of like the older audiences, and they don't really use TikTok. They don't create content on TikTok. So what's the point? And also, it could damage the image of your brand. For example, if let's say Versace creates fun TikTok content, I think it could draw away the brand image from being exclusive and expensive. But you get what I mean, right? So all in all, there is no one all-timer good social media. It's all about the social media that works for your audience and your brand. And to do so, you need to create that audience persona and the consumer roadmap. Well, that's about it for today's video. Hope you guys like it. And if you guys like it, don't forget to click that like button and then subscribe. And I'll see you on the next episode. See ya!